but there is a lot of learning to do with actually making a compound bow work. There's the technical side of compound archery is huge. Yeah, so that was the big learning curve. How your bow's got to be right if you want to compete at a high level. I know people say you don't need to practice as much and all that, but again, if you want to compete at a high level, you've got to do a lot of practice.
Yeah, I mean, these guys will be practicing every day just to... And it's one thing in practice, but it's another thing having competition practice.
Absolutely. So trust me, when your nerves and shaking start with a compound bow, it's in its own little ways harder than a recurve bow, and then the wind starts blowing it's really horrific because the arrows go where the dot is pointing, as they say. If the dot isn't pointing at the 10, it ain't going there.
No.
So James Howse, hugely experienced junior compound archer from Great Britain. Got a perfect 150 in one of his matches on the way here yesterday.
Very nice.
He was really proud about that.
So Mr. Hong is the top seed,
Yes.
shooting 593.
That's a really good score.
Shot 53 tens.
Yeah.
James is seeded 6,
Yeah.
shooting 587.
Yeah.
If you wanted to make the cut in the junior compound, you would have had to have shot 571, and it actually went to shoot off.
Yeah. That's again a really high standard.
Well, we had, I see the draw here, we had 4 compound junior men shooting 571, so it was a 4-way shoot off.
That's a nice 10 in from James. That'll be really important for James there. So, you know, the Korean archers really got the back lean going on. Seeing that a lot now because they put a lot of weight on the front of the long rod, and that's how they balance it. They're just trying to make the bow hold as still as they can. It's just under from James. So the Korean's shooting a trigger release, but he's shooting it very nicely with back tension.
Nice and solid standing position.
Yeah.
Nice relaxed front arm, pressing through the 10.
Great
And
10
there we
there
go.
from James. So yeah, James has already been shooting 3 years as junior international for Great Britain. He's world bronze medalist at the Junior Youth Championships in Yankton, which is a really great event. It's 2 years ago now, can you believe it?
Good Lord, where does the season go?
Yeah.
Where does the season go?
Yeah. So he made his World Cup debut as a senior last year as well for GB in Shanghai. He shot some PBs, which was brilliant.
And compound particularly is very, very popular in Europe and in the USA and the Americas, and now it's starting to develop to Latin America, South America, and now we see Asia certainly showing some interest and good form, I have to say, in compound archery.
And the Indian team are phenomenal.
Yes.
They're really brilliant, and the Korean compounds, they've won World Cups now, haven't they? And
yeah, I mean, they've only really been known for recurve shooting, and now compound has been introduced into the Asian Games, so it's another medal opportunity. So I see China, I see Chinese Taipei, Korea, all training hard on compound, so there's some good recurve shooters that have changed over to compound. And I have to say, they've got some lovely techniques. I do like the way the Koreans have been shooting the compound.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, a lot of the... so I do a lot of work with the British juniors and travelling around the world with them. You're seeing now that the upcoming generation of junior, they're real serious athletes as well now. Because they want to shoot these big, heavy bows, and they're getting really fit and strong. Because that's what you need. That's a 9 from Hong. He doesn't want to let James get away from him.
Deep hook with a release aid.
Great shot there from James. He's really...
So there's some shaking there. Is it? It's not the physical weight. or
It's just pulling. You
okay?
just got to maintain your
Keep
pull.
pulling against the wall.
Yeah. And if the front starts moving, you just pull a little harder. And you need to pull really hard, but you don't want to pull yourself out of line.
So keeping the balance between the
It really
arms.
is all about balance, and you just need to keep that front right on the middle. And it has to go off when it's on the middle. That's a wide 9 there from James. 2-point lead though. Hong does not want to let him get away. Just quarter 10. He's got a lovely little group there, just a little bit low and a little bit left. Just see the point of the arrow pulling. Great shot. Look at that, one hole in that face still from James.
Very nice.
Good arrows, good arrows.
This is why I like indoor shooting, is when you're feeling on form, you're rewarded, because I've been to shoots myself where you feel on form, you've trained hard, and it's a windy day. You see the rugby posts bending in the wind, and you see the rains coming in the afternoon, and you think, okay, I've just got to use the weather as best as I can. But indoors, I really like, because there's no one to blame but yourself.
That's correct.
You just process.
Yeah.
But a lot of the outdoor shooters that shoot very well outdoors, they shoot very high scores, like a 700 on the 50-meter round, and then they come indoors, and it just doesn't seem to happen for them. They seem to be struggling to get into the 590s or hitting the 600.
Yeah.
It seems to take some progression to get the indoor standard for you to shoot well on indoors, I imagine.
With the compounds, you find they're a bit more. The top compounds do everything, don't they? They're all big indoor shooters, field shooters. With the compound, yeah, with a lot of the recurves, they just do 70 meters. Oh, don't do indoors. You do hear people, you've heard people say that, yeah. Oh, don't do field archery. But the compounds do it all. Most of the compounds. And I was talking to somebody back home the other week, and they're like, why you pushed everyone to go into Nîmes this year? I'm like, because if you want to learn to really shoot at the highest levels of pressure, this is where you need to be.
And this is it with compound. People, certainly on the recurve side, you would say, okay, it's easy to hit the 10, but with compound, yes, you hit more 10s, but you've got to hit the 10 when you need it.
Yeah. Well, really, with compound indoors, you can't miss the 10.
True.
You just can't. Think of what some of the things that Mike Sloz has been doing the last.
Yeah, well, I think some people would say he's slightly off form, because he only shot 598 at Nimes, rather than the usual 600 or 599. Yeah. But I have to say, these guys aren't hitting the 10 as much as we thought.
So, can't see it. But no, great 10 there from James. So it's still a 2-point match here for James at the moment.
And the compound shooting the aluminium arrows.
Yeah, you've got to use the baddest arrows you can, really. You've got to give yourself every advantage you can.
That's quarter 10.
There's just quarter 10. Where it doesn't bother the recurves as much, does it? Shooting the alleys. Long hold. 10. He's got that bottom face dialed right in.
Yeah.
Great shooting.
I like changing over to aluminiums, because it kind of breaks, it makes you feel like you're doing a new season.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, so 3 ends in, 87, James Howse, 85 for Hong. James looking very in control out there with, of course, Andrew Gales.
Veteran, shall we say, in the compound world.
A brave man than me. Yeah, Andrew's been working with our junior team now as well for 2 years. It's really good. She really enjoys doing the coaching. Oh, Lucy holding this down there.
And the Olympic champion from Rio 2016.
Is he agent
Ku Bon Chan is pulling out the arrows. What a great target agent to have. That's got to be some added pressure there for young shoulders of Mr. Hong, having an Olympic champion pulling out your arrows.
That is so cool. I hadn't noticed that. Wow. It just shows, though, doesn't it, how senior archers are awesome.
Yes, and they're looking at the future and helping them where they can. I do like the Korean mentality here. They've come over with the professional teams,
Yeah.
and there's that camaraderie, helping each other out and eating together and training together, passing on that experience.
I really want one of those Hyundai steel coats they've got, by the way. They
Yeah, they're
so
very
cool.
popular, aren't they?
So cool.
They are always prepared.
Hong needs to dial his top face in, because it just, if he shoots a 9, it just doesn't put any pressure onto James. Or, you know, it's allowing James to, there's a 10, so James has punished him.
He kept hold of that one quite well. They could see the shaking and the drifting, but he got that back in to realign the pressures to get the 10.
It's not good enough for the compound.
Yeah,
he's
he
looking
knows it.
frustrated, isn't he? You know, he's just like, James is wobbling a bit there. No, 9, didn't he?
And this is why you've got to have good strength in your legs and your core.
Yeah.
To keep that stability, so those little muscles that you have enable you to keep relaxed but also powerful to get the 10s when you need them.
That's
just out.
Just out.
Oh no, they've given it him 10.
Okay.
Maybe the spotter's eyes are better than ours.
The judges will be looking at that, I imagine. Big shot now from James. Great 10 there.
So 113 versus 116.
Yeah, 3 points with 3 to shoot.
That's quite comfortable going into the last 3 arrows, I think, really, because even if you just get 3 9s.
3 9s.
Although we shouldn't think like that ever. No,
like that.
do not think like that. You always go for the 10.
Yeah. So
go out in glory.
So has Lucy Holness got the courage to challenge a Kuban Chan Leinkel? Yeah, it is. Brilliant. No, he was awarded 3.
Yep, 3 9s, so he was downgraded. So 112 versus 116.
Yeah,
that's quite a big lead, really, for 3 hours going in.
Nice shooting from James, he's really controlled it.
Although we saw in the women's bronze match, anything can happen, so you always keep shooting, even though you're behind, is keep your form, because anything can happen.
If Hong comes out now and just puts him in the middle, it will make James think. That's the key. He's got to build the pressure.
He's absolutely got nothing to lose here, so...
But we were talking about Mike Schlosser earlier. He came over to an event in Great Britain back in December. He shot 7 straight perfect matches.
It's impressive, it really is. And how mentally you can keep yourself together like that for every shot.
And he was so relaxed about it.
He is, he's such a relaxed guy. Yeah. You don't see what's going on in his head at all. Poker face.
Yeah. No, that's not going to help his cause. He hasn't shot a 10 on his first base, which is not in compound. You need that first one in. Good hold there. James just caught that. It's a mean line call. I think he might get that. He's quite nervous.
There
He's 10.
Give you some feel-good factor. Even though he's a top seed.
Yeah. Well, we saw the top seed finish 4th in the junior girls. Oh, great shot there from James.
An inner 10, I believe you call it.
Inside out.
Inside out 10.
Inside out.
That's the terminology you guys use.
And a 10 to finish. But I don't think it's quite good enough, really.
7 to win.
He's nervous. Go on, James.
Execute
nice
it well.
Shooting.
Got a 10.
Good enough. He got a 10. Yeah, brilliant.
So 140 against 145 out of a possible 150. Great experience for these guys.
Big confidence boost there for James, and that's the GB 5 people shooting for medals today, which is really good for Great Britain.
Good for the performance unit, huh?
Very good. So James is the first one up.